to Behind the Whistle, podcast and video cast of elite level referees and members of WWR, so that you can get a better understanding of who that person is behind the whistle. Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Whistle, where we get in deep and in depth with some of our members and also our colleagues who are directly responsible for this wonderful sport of water polo. I am truly blessed today to have not only our first female who is on the podcast, but one of the most dynamic Greek players that I actually had the luxury of officiating in my career. Stavroula Kozompoli. Is that correct? Did I say it right?
Yes, correct. And thank you very much for your kind words. I always remember you also. It was very nice that we were meeting in the pool, and now we meet, here we see each other, many hours ago. You are far away from me, but it's very nice.
Stavroula, thank you so much for taking the time to come on to our podcast and kind of share everything that's not only about you, but also about the sport and where we're headed. Give me a little history of you as a child and kind of growing up in Greece and what that looks like from a water polo perspective.
Okay, I grew up in Athens, in Greece, the capital of Greece. And at the age of 5-6 years old, with my brother and my sister, my parents brought me to the pool to learn how to swim.
Oh,
my family didn't have a swimming background, neither a sports background, but just to know how to swim. But, the next 3 years that I learned swimming very, very good with my brother, we continued because they saw that we love water, we love swimming, and we want to go furthermore with that. So I was in national championship. I had some successes as a swimmer, but I wasn't very good, to tell you the truth. I wasn't in international level. In national championship, yes, I got many medals, And at the age of 16 and a half years old, I was too old for water polo. If we look from the perspective now that the children, they start play water polo in very young age. I have the example of my kids. Yes, I was 16 and a half, and they approached me from my club Glyfada to start to play water polo. Women water polo in Greece had just started at 1988 or 1989.
Okay.
So the year that I started was 1991.
Wow.
So now you can imagine my age. Now, okay, you can guess, but it's okay, no problem.
We are similar. It's okay. We are very similar.
You can Google also, so it's easy. Okay, and they approached me and I said, okay, why not? Because every day to do for all these years, swimming 6 to 12 kilometers per day, I was getting a little bored. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to change to try something else. And that was it. When I started playing water polo, I fell in love with water polo because it was the swimming pool, the water that I love. But it was also a game because you play with a ball.
Yes.
So step by step, I started to want to go deeper, in this sport and to play in the first team in my club, Glyfada, first of all. And when I succeeded this small step, I went to the next one, that was to play for the national team.
Oh, wow.
And not to tell you more about this, I will tell you that I played for the national Greek water polo team, women water polo team, for 15 consecutive years.
It's fantastic.
From 1994 to 2008, because I quitted after Olympic Games in Beijing.
Okay.
A very big career in water polo. I played in 7 European championships. I played 5, I think, world championships, many world leagues, other tournaments, 2 Olympic Games, of course. And at the Olympic Games of 2004 in my country, I had the honor and the privilege to win the silver Olympic medal. To tell you also that in Athens was the first team sport that won an Olympic medal. Now we have the second one, that is the men's team.
The men's side, that's right.
Yes.
That's
in Tokyo,
right.
Yes, and that's all. Then I quit it after, and but I still wanted to stay in the area of sports and water polo. So I didn't want to be a coach. I don't like, to tell you the truth. So I thought that it will be good for me to have, if I could, some administrative position in sport. Yeah. And I just started, and also now I have some of this position, administrative, in the Olympic Committee. I'm president of the Olympians Hellenic Association or the Greek Olympians. And I'm, of course, in the TWPC. That's why we are here. I'm a proud member of VVR, don't forget.
That's fantastic. And we appreciate that.
Proud member of VVR. And I hope that from my position that we will discuss later on, I can help, my sport and everybody that is involved.
Well, you are our honorary secretary of the TWPC of FINA. And for that, we are not only thankful for your position in TWPC, but your membership in WWR, because you shed so much light and provide the ability to communicate and assist the sport, not only from the athletes and the game itself, but also to make sure that the referees are also succeeding so that we are helping the athletes perform at their highest levels. And I think it's just fantastic what you've done over your career, and now you continue it, and you're such a dynamic representative of the sport. And we truly appreciate it as WWR members that you're in the position that you are. Let's talk about really you've now come on to the FINA TWPC, and what do you envision, and where are we at with the sport, and where do you think it's going to go in the next, let's say, 4 years?
Yes, of course. Just to tell you before that it's not my first term in the TWPC,
That's
because
correct.
The previous term from 2017 to 2022, because we had the pandemic and the COVID situation, it was 5-year term. I was elected, first of all, as a member of the FINA Athletes Committee in 2017, and FINA put me as a representative of the athletes in the TWPC of this term. So this was very good for me because I learned a lot, from the TWPC I didn't know. And after that came the time that FINA appreciated what I done, and of course my federation to appoint me again, and to appoint me in the position of the honorary secretary. That is a great honor for me, really, and I will do my best, and I try to do my best, because I have to tell you also that when we started our term, it was 4th of July that we changed the committee, the new committee, and we had to start immediately in FINA with 5 FINA events. First one was 1 week after, and it was Strasbourg Super Final Men. World League. We had 2 Belgrade under-18 men and women championships. And then we had, with great success, all of them. And then we had, at the end, under-16 men and women for the first time that was in Volos and Larissa.
Yeah.
So, yes. So we started immediately to work. And my goal, but I don't want to say my goal, it's our goal, because we are a big family in the committee, and also VVR and all the stakeholders and the people that are involved. I think it is, first of all, the development.
Okay.
And when we talk about development is, first of all, to have more countries participating in our events, in FINA events and continental events, not only, and to play water polo. And the second one in development is to develop the young children, the young ages. I'm very happy that the event that we have in FINA for the first time, under 16, if you followed a little bit, in the YouTube and you saw some games, had a great success. All the countries, they were very happy. All the kids that participated, very, very happy, exciting, and they are waiting for the next one already. Also, that in many countries right now, we have tournaments and championship that starts from the age of under 12, under 14, under 16.
That's
this
fantastic.
For me is development. This is development because, as I told you before, 15 and 20 years ago, we didn't have this. I started at 16 years old, and now my kids that are 11 and 8, my daughter 8, my son 11, they have already started, and they go to the pool, when they play water polo, or at least they try to play.
Yeah, and my house was the same. It's very similar. My children now are older. They're 16, 17, and 18, and they had the ability to start water polo at 6 years old here in the United States. We never had that opportunity.
Amazing. This is amazing.
Never had that opportunity.
And we have all these small balls, smaller balls, bigger ball. I love this, when I see how kids, they are loving the sport, because I told you in the beginning, it is a game. They play with a ball.
Right.
And this is the most exciting. Okay, another thing that we have to focus as a TWPC, together with the VVR and all the family of water polo, is how we will do our game more understandable and more attractive to the audience, let's say, to the spectators and the viewers, that they see, our sport from social media, from live streaming, from the television.
Yes.
This is another issue because right now we face a lot of problems. We have, as you know, many gray zones, let's say, and we should have black or white. When we see something and we discuss about it, we should have the same opinion that this is black or this is white.
Yes.
And in some occasion, doesn't happen. And this is a very big problem because, especially for a spectator to see and to come with us and to watch our games and be excited and everything, if he doesn't understand what he sees, this is a big problem.
Yes,
so
I agree. I think that's the greatest connection that we have, is that with WWR and Boris and Yorgo working tirelessly to constantly make sure that the education, so that we are all looking at the same picture. And if we whistle, the whistle is the same for everyone involved. And I think that's what's so critical to make the sport better, is that we all have the same understanding of the same picture when the sport is being played in the pool.
Yes, fully agree. And this that we need to have is consistency.
Yes.
Consistency in the game between the two referees that they officiate the game, and consistency during each game and all the games together. So to speak the same language, to be on the same page. This is the most important. In a few days, you will see, if you have seen the change proposal that FINA has published already.
That's
in
correct.
the 4th of October, we will have the Technical Congress of FINA. And if the changes are approved, we will have some new changes in our rules. Okay, what else to tell you?
And these changes that you talk about, it's the intent to make the sport better. It's not only for the athletes, but for the spectators as well.
Yes, to be the things to be more clear.
Right.
And we want, as you know already, we want to protect the free movement. We want to prevent aggressive play. We want to prevent impeding, so everything is more clear.
Yes.
To have a faster game, I hope that we will manage, step by step. It's not easy to change, everything from one moment to another, but I think we are in the right way to do it.
So let me ask you this. I have always been under the belief that we as referees are ambassadors of the sport, because until we change the way that we whistle the game's not going to change itself. And so how would you tell a referee, if you're going to explain to me, Steve, I need you to whistle the game this way because this is what the TWPC would like for the spectators to make our sport better. How do you explain that to me?
The first thing that the referees, as you know very well, they have to be educated, continuously, every day. What we say to the referees, I'm not a referee by myself, but I study also because I'm a delegate and I have to know the rules very well. And I told you before that we have every week, maybe we have, clarifications, we have some changes. So everybody has to be informed and to study. And the other thing that we say to the referees is that they have to feel the game, to have the feeling of the game. It's not only to study a rule and to say, okay, this is a foul, this is exclusion, but you have to feel the game.
Yes.
And as I told you before, to protect the free movement of the players.
Correct.
It's not easy. I know it's very difficult. And consistency will help in that. What we have to whistle the same way everywhere in the world.
Yes.
Either it's in the national championship or a FINA championship or land championship or another continental championship. So we have to talk to each other, to discuss, to encourage, to the young referees, to speak to the young referees, that we are now older and you have the experience. So we are in the same page, everybody. This is the only way.
That's fantastic. And I want to kind of branch off on that. So I have a daughter and she's come out and she has refereed and she has struggled as a referee because at the same time, I think we have to do a better job of protecting the younger referees that are coming up through the system. Expand to me how we can not only attract referees, but I want to get specific. How do we attract and promote and continue the development, even if our female referees, because I think that's so critical. The game of water polo has expanded so much. You and I both know that the Olympic Games now, we have 2 gender team sports that are at the Olympics. It's the longest event that runs at the Olympics. It's one of the only events that takes up the entire Olympic Games. But how do we expand that referee pool? Because the sport of water polo and now the women's side of it has, blossomed. Especially, I can only speak here from the United States, but we have so many young women athletes playing water polo and loving the sport. And we want to continue that. But at the same time that we're continuing that, we want to have female referees to be a good guide. And so those athletes in the water know that, okay, at this step, you can also be an official if you love the sport and want to stay involved. How do we do that?
Yes, this is a very good pass you give me, Stephen, to speak a little bit, about women. I'm also a woman, and I want to promote women referees. But I'm not the only one, because, without the help of everybody, and especially men, we cannot do anything.
Yes.
So I will tell you that I'm extremely happy because till now we saw few referees, women referees, to officiate games. I was at the Olympic Games in Tokyo, and I saw some things that I didn't like at all. I saw some women referees that they were appointed to be participating, in Olympic Games. And
right.
During as you said, because we start the Olympic Games and we finish the Olympic Games, we are
That's
the
right.
only sport. During the 21 days that we stayed there, they officiated only, for example, 2 or 3 games.
Okay.
This is not possible, So not only me, but all the committee, the TWPC and our chairman, Thomas Molnar, and vice chairman, Ken Kuroda, and all the committee, we want to promote women referee. And we saw from the first time that started our term. What I want to say, first tournament, as I told you, it was in Strasbourg.
Right.
In Strasbourg, it was a senior men.
Yes.
Senior men tournament. So usually no woman there was, in such a tournament. We appointed 2 women immediately, and I'm very happy and proud that one of them officiated for the first time in the history, I think, a semi-final in men category and a final with a man. Very successfully. And I don't need, it's not me that I say that, because everybody saw there weren't any complaints everywhere. Everything went very well. Mm-hmm. After that, there was under 18 Belgrade women. In this tournament, we had 9 women referees and 8 men.
Wow.
And the most important, at the last day that we have the ranking, games from the 1st to 8th place, mm-hmm. we had 4 games, 7 women referees, and 1 man.
Wow.
I don't say that, yes, this is not to say that we don't need man and we will manage, by ourselves, but women right now, because they have stayed behind, we have to give them the space and the time to show us if they can referee or not.
Yes.
Okay. And as I see, they can, but they need to practice. As you know, you cannot be a good player if you not practice. Right. So referee is the same. You have to practice. You have to give the opportunity, for women to practice. And I'm very glad because we support it as a TWPC. And I will tell you that next month we will have in Tenerife also from 2 to 6, we will have the super final World League women. Mm-hmm. And in this tournament, we just appointed a few days ago 6 women referee and 4 men.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
So we need to promote a little bit women, okay, because they have stayed behind, and we have to make them progress. And as I see, they can. Moreover, I want to tell that also Len, because everybody follows this strategy. Also Len, for the next year, and FINA, they had only 1 woman referee in the lists that they have. Now they will have 2.
Wow, that's fantastic.
This is very good.
This is a very personal thing to me too, because my wife is a referee. So I am married to a referee. So I live this not only as my kids play the sport, but I'm also married to a referee. So I know what it's like and the struggles that she goes through, because she's not looked at the same. She is, compared, I would say, a little bit differently. And just because whether it's how she handles a situation, maybe it's the female approach to something that takes place, whether it be how they handle a coach, whether they handle a player interaction. But what's so interesting is that I think that it's so viable because it makes the men referees better, because it forces us to be better. When you expand a referee pool, male, female, whomever, you always want to be on your A game. And if we're forced to be better and, like you say, study and make sure that you're practicing and always trying to refine how I can be better as a referee, the more people pushing me to try and be better, men, women, whoever, that's only going to make me better as me as a male referee. So I think it's so critical, and I think it's a fantastic opportunity. And I'm really glad to see FINA TWPC, but most of all you, because you've come up from all the ranks from playing as a youth. Now you sit here as the honorary secretary, and you can see it and provide such great information to especially the female referees that are aspiring to become an elite level referee. And I think that's just so fantastic. So I want to appreciate that. And I think it's fantastic what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
So where do we
will continue all together, you know.
Of course, as one big family, we will, yes, for sure. So let me kind of end it with this. Where are we headed in the next few years? And do you have a personal goal that you've set for yourself, or that you've set as part of being the family of the TWPC?
Look, what I want for myself, you know, the next year when I finish my term as an honorary secretary in the FINA TWPC, I want to speak with you again, with other people, you know, in the sport, and tell me, okay, Vula, you did something good for this sport, for our beloved sport. This is, you know, what I want to hear, and this is what I will work for all this year. I will be very happy and very honored if we speak, you know, after 3 years. I don't know what I will do, you know, after 3 years. Okay, but I want now to finish and to do my best to what I love, and this is water polo, and how we can progress and how our sport can be better.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, Vula, I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to spend some time with WWR and putting the information out there, and really for all your tireless works that you're doing, not only within Greece and also with the FINA TWPC to make the sport that we all love better. So I truly appreciate everything, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much. Also, thank you. I hope to see you soon.
Absolutely. For more information regarding the World Water Polo Referees Association, find us on the web at www.pra.org. There you can check out the latest news, information, and all of the education that WWR is providing on a global scale.